All right, guys, and it is time for the West Virginia Mountaineers women's basketball team to shine. To the Big 12 title game they go. We're excited about it, baby.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host here. Welcome back into Locked On West Virginia as I join with Jackson Johnson to talk a little West Virginia women's basketball, a new commitment for the Mountaineers football team. We got to talk about that too.
Oh, yeah.
Jackson, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing all right today, good buddy. How you doing?
How you doing today, good buddy? How's it go?
How you doing today, good
When
buddy?
you do the point, how's it go? There it is.
Yep. There we go.
The point. Guys, thank you so much for being here this afternoon. It's like 10 o'clock. Paul After Dark. I'm not drinking coffee, I swear. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We're talking about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. Going to be brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. And right now with FanDuel, guys, usually it's $5. It's going to make you come holla. But not on this one, guys, because we're talking about FanDuel being the way and the truth in the industry. FanDuel's giving you a way to turn that energy into even bigger potential wins with the college basketball parlay profit boost. Head to FanDuel.com to get started and do it today. Thanks for making us your first listen, guys. Congratulations to the West Virginia women's basketball team as they advance to the Big 12 title game. Congratulations to them. An excellent job. And you beat Colorado in what was a thrilling game. Jordan Harrison steals the ball at the end of the game, Jackson.
That was a huge one right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, this is one of those games where it was just a defensive grind, man. Both teams were causing turnovers. They were causing bad shots. The ball just didn't seem to want to go in the hole, Jackson. And when you look at, the situation for West Virginia, who are a couple of the key performers in this game?
I was really thinking about Jordan Harrison and Gia Cook, because especially when Gia Cook hit the biggest shot of the game, it got 14 points.
Right.
Was second in scoring for today for West Virginia. And Jordan Harrison got 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, and got the game-stealing play for the Mountaineers as West Virginia advances to play in the title game tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time to play the TCU Horned Frogs. And I'm going to tell you, that's going to be a fun one right there. I haven't watched much women's basketball, but when I do, it's been the Alabama Crimson Tide and the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Yeah, and obviously this is going to be a tough matchup for West Virginia. If you go back to the 2 games they played, I watched the game in January. West Virginia loses that game by 1 point, very similar to the Colorado outcome tonight. And then on the road, West Virginia loses by double digits to TCU. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, Jackson.
Oh, it is. I mean, some say it can't be done, but it's not impossible because the Mountaineers showed it today. I mean, it kind of felt like today's game between West Virginia and Colorado. I don't know why, but it felt like a women's basketball equivalent of Wake Forest Boston College from several years ago, where it's just like low scoring all over the place.
Right. I kind of want to – we're going to talk about this game a little bit more, but I kind of want to talk about the season as a whole because you look at what Mark Kellogg's done with this program. Number one, you look at some of the things that have happened this year. The biggest story in women's sports may be a West Virginia story this year. We'll talk about that in a second. 48-47, West Virginia wins it. Obviously, Colorado hit that 3 with about a minute and a half to go. And that was like the K-State game with West Virginia a couple months back where it felt like they were up 4, but it felt like they were up 10. And that's kind of how this felt until Gia finally answered with a clutch 3 with 32 seconds left. She has been clutch all season long. Gia Cook, certainly the glue person on this team, maybe with Mimi, And then obviously Jordan hit the 2 free throws to ice it at the end after she got the steal. Colorado did have a chance. It had its chances to tie with free throws, Jackson, and thankfully they didn't do that. West Virginia won this game for multiple reasons, but I think at the end of the day, the defense forced 11 Colorado turnovers. The fast break points, West Virginia holds Colorado to 0. They were able to set their defense all night long. They played clutch within the guards spots, especially. And this is a team that's built to win ugly, very much like Ross Hodge wants his teams to be when he gets them, in full go mode, when he's got the teams that he wants. You don't have to win ugly, but they're built to win ugly, if that makes any sense. We can
absolutely.
We don't mind a win running away, but this is a team that can get ugly with you if they want, Jackson.
Agreed. They can get as ugly as they need to be with you.
Yeah. Thankfully, that's not always having to be the case. I want to move on for a second and kind of talk about just the season as a whole here, because you look at the way the season began and some of the earlier stories. How can you say anything about this West Virginia women's season without the Greenbrier 5, Jackson?
Oh,
you remember that story?
Oh man, I've heard a little bit of it.
Whenever they, you may not remember this. I didn't talk to you about it before the show, but November 14th of 25, which is, really early on. Obviously, they were playing Duke, ranked 15th in the country at the Greenbrier tip-off, which is a neutral court game. Chaos broke out in the second quarter after a fight. 7 Mountaineer players were ejected in the game, including Jordan Harrison, which left West Virginia with only 5 eligible players for the rest of the entire game. No bench, no substitutions. They couldn't foul out, and those 5 players had to play the entire second half without any breaks. And those 5 players are now legendary. That's Sydney Shaw, Sydney Woodley, Riley McAlusky, Celia Riviere, who was kind of the star of that game, and then Logan Johnson, a freshman. So, they had to play every second of that second half against a top 15 Duke team. And instead of collapsing, they took over the game. Sydney Shaw scored 16 second half points. They went on a 24-9 third quarter run, which I was watching in real time in stunned, silence, and stunned Duke in a game where West Virginia wins 57-49. I think that helped create the identity of this team. It built the resilience in this team, and it gave them, full confidence of knowing that they were tough, defensive, and unbreakable and can win any game, Jackson.
Oh, for sure, man. Like when you have players like that, just like helping you get through to where you needed to get through Duke with only 5 players, that's a huge win right there. I mean, years from now, I feel like we're going to be seeing an ESPN Plus documentary on this, or a Netflix documentary on it, or a Tubi documentary on it.
Yeah, and I would gladly accept that. I think it'd be a great one. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this team and the way it became who they are, because after that moment, the Mountaineers became the toughest team, or one of the toughest teams in the Big 12. They're led by their defensive identity, led by Jordan Harrison, the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, the 3rd year in a row that's happened for a West Virginia women's player. And 2 go to, obviously, 1 player, but still, that's still good. And obviously an elite defensive team. So this team is a pressure-based team, kind of like a press Virginia, if you will, that thrives on turnovers and chaos. Jordan Harrison is the defensive engine that runs and it drives this boat. But, she's the leader of that press. She's very much like a Javon Carter in the press. She's a late-game clutch player as well. But Gia Cook is the big-time shot creator in this offense. She kind of gets this team up off the deck when they're not making shots, with Kiera Wheeler, who I was really high on from the word go. She's an undersized big at 6'1", but is she elite? I had Coach Kellogg on the show way back before the season even began, and we were talking about Mimi Wheeler even back then. They ended the regular season with a 118-60 win over Colorado, and it feels like this team is just peaking at the right time. You program records for points in the game, program records for points versus D1 opponent. I think this team has proven that they can score when they need to, and they're not just an ugly defensive winning team, Jackson. So, you look at this Big 12 tournament run. Do you have the numbers on that?
Matter of fact, I do. I've got like the Big 12 tournament where I'm just kind of like looking at it, where you got like where you got like TCU running the show for the conference, but West Virginia was second, of course, and
Right.
Kansas State. Oh man, it was a bad day for them, but that's good because West Virginia gets a shot at TCU again.
Correct. I didn't know if you had West Virginia's path to the championship game pulled up there.
Yeah, because like they beat Arizona State on Friday, and I
Got it.
Yeah, because like they didn't play on Thursday, so they
Correct.
had that little bye week.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I was wanting to highlight. The path. West Virginia in the quarterfinals did beat Arizona State, where Sidney Shaw just caught fire in a game. If you didn't watch that game, oh my God, Sidney Fire goes absolutely bananas in that game, where she tied a program record for threes in a game. And once again, showing that West Virginia can win with offense. Today was against a really good Colorado team that's going to be an at-large team anyway. They're going to get in. And I think that, they showed their other identity, when it's West Virginia with the defense, the clutch moments, the chaos. They believe they can win close games late. And I'm excited. Obviously, West Virginia has been on the precipice with TCU this year. I wish that they could get this win. We'll see what happens. I think the keys to victory in this game for West Virginia are turnovers. Obviously, West Virginia's got to create chaos on the road here in a road environment. Or is this a neutral site? Maybe I don't know if the championship game is going to be at TCU or not. Can you see that, Jackson? Does it say?
It's at the T-Mobile Center for Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, well, that's a neutral court game. So this is great. So I forgot that they moved it to the Kansas City for the women's beyond. The women do it so much differently. Like they actually give them home games. You know what I mean? But anyways, so at least you don't have to play
it's
that.
Like Raven says, you can't let Olivia Miles get into Jordan Harrison's head, because if we do, that it's going to get ugly real fast.
Right. Olivia Miles being one of the best players in the country for TCU. Yeah, I agree. This is going to be an interesting game. Like I said, it's going to be a game that West Virginia is going to have to create turnovers. They're going to control the pace. The guard play with Harrison and Cook are going to have to control the game and be better. And obviously, Jordan Harrison is the X factor in almost every game. I would throw Mimi Wheeler in there as well. If she dominates defensively again, West Virginia can win this game. And even if they don't, that's okay. This is going to be a very highly seeded team in the tournament. But certainly you would love to push for a 2 seed if you can by winning the Big 12. I don't think you'll get a 1 seed because of how good the top of women's basketball is this year. And unfortunately, nobody's probably going to beat UConn. There are very, very few people. So,
no,
it's just unfortunate. Yeah. But
yeah, like UConn women's basketball being unbeaten in the regular season and throughout the conference tournament, that's just another day in the Ponderosa for sure.
All right, we got to go to break here. After the break, West Virginia secures another commitment from a big, monstrous defensive lineman. Jackson and I talk about that. We do it next. And talking about our friends, and we do love our friends at FanDuel. Right now with FanDuel, guys, usually it's $5 is going to make Jackson come holla. But on this one, we're not doing that. College basketball being nonstop, big games, tight spreads, momentum swings every single night, from the early tip-offs to the late wet night West Coast shootouts. There's always action on the table and on the board. And now FanDuel is giving you the college hoops action you want and giving you a way to turn that energy into bigger potential wins with the college basketball parlay profit boost. You can build any college hoops parlay you want with rivalry games. You can do ranked matchups. You can do whatever fits your deal. And you can mix spreads, totals, player props, whatever you want to match up to see the slate going your direction and playing out like you see it. Then you can apply a profit boost and instantly bump up the payout potential. Pretty good stuff. You can even look at the odds around your team if they are in season. Go safe, go bold, ride with the team you've been following all season. It's your parlay, but your style as well. Now, bring some more upside behind it. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com where you can play with FanDuel, get that magic, and play your game. And of course, we can't get any further without our friends at Indeed. Guys, right now with Indeed, workplace chaos is going on. You got deadlines stacking up, you got inboxes overflowing, and the one position you had to fill still sitting open. That's no good. When the pressure's on and you need the right hire, this is a job for sponsored jobs. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you reach the people who actually care and who are actually looking for you, looking good for you with skills, experience, and location. So you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. No. And here's a stat that says it all. In the 1 minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours have made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. So if you're hiring, you can spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates that check all your boxes with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing those candidates. Like we said, less stress, less time, more results. When you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listen, listeners of this show will get $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast today, right now, and support our show by saying you heard about it on Locked On West Virginia. You heard about Indeed on Locked On West Virginia. Indeed.com/podcast, where the terms and conditions apply. Do you need to hire? Find your magic today, because this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And of course, in segment 2, a little coffee dew at 10:14 tonight. I'm not going to drink any more of it, but this dew's for you, Jackson. Appreciate you so much for being here, brother.
You're
the
welcome.
Jacksonian, where Jackson dives into people's lives and figures out things about them and does other kinds of content there. He's also at the Voice of College Football Alabama, as well as the Voice of College Football SEC Live. Make sure you check Jackson out as well here at Locked On West Virginia when he does Jackson's World of College Football. Will be coming soon. We're 6 months away from the season starting. Speaking of the season starting, Jackson, West Virginia has signed themselves a woolly mammoth here.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. I think I know who it is. It's DeJour Webb for the class of 2027. Ooh. Defensive lineman, 6'3", nose guard, first team All-State defensive tackle. And West Virginia got him over Pittsburgh and Penn State and other Big Ten schools. It's a huge win.
Oh, it's a monstrous win. And, I think there's a reason that it matters, though, right? Because, like, you mentioned the schools that he got it over, but, like, do you realize where Pine Richland is at?
Yeah, it's in Pennsylvania somewhere. WPIAL.
Exactly, in that recruiting hotbed area.
Oh, yeah.
So, what about like his height, weight, frame, and body type? I know you'd mentioned something about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got an elite size at 320 pounds. He's got in his height at 6'3" is excellent for interior defensive line. And, his frame is a thick lower body. So we've got that. And he's got that natural nose guard, which is his body type.
So he's got Vince Wilfork in him.
Oh, yeah. He's a beast.
He is a beast. And we're going to play some tape of him here in a moment's time because the dude is a really fun watch. I think he's definitely got a place in this defense in the future. And I like a lot about him too, Jackson. You mentioned the size on the guy. He's basically a kid. I mean, he's still in high school. This is somebody that's going to come in and let's just be honest here, man. They're going to shape his body. And once they do, he's already at 320 pounds as a 2027 prospect. That's already college nose tackle size. It's pretty rare to find in the early in development. College strength projection, you're probably going to get him up to 330, 345 without losing any power. And that means you're going to be a zero technique or a one technique, playing on top of the center and hopefully controlling the middle of defenses. He should be able to eat up double teams, control A gaps, collapse interior run lanes, the whole nine at the three technique spot for the secondary role as well, where he can attack the B gap a little bit, penetrate interior rush lanes, interior pass rush, which is incredible for versatility's sake, because you got to have guys that can do all things along the defensive line, Jackson. When you look at this guy, he is a disruptive interior lineman for his size. He really moves well. He controls the gap. That's what he does. He's extraordinarily physical in the run game. And I think he is a true anchor in the middle of any defense going forward. If you look at players that West Virginia's had in the past, Chris Neal, players like that, similar to, he's got that kind of framework for himself. And what I like about his game, he plays with good leverage. He's got elite interior strength. He destroys double teams. The first play we'll watch, he absolutely gobbles up a double team, chews them up like a chicken nugget, Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
And his run gap discipline is really good as well. I give him a 8.5 out of 10 in the hard edge meter. I really like this player a lot. I'm big on defensive linemen and nose tackles anyway. And you'll see whenever he gets into his pass rush stances on the defensive line on the interior, he's got some explosion for a guy his size. His hand usage is really good, and he's got a really nice motor as well. So let's get to the tape here, because I think it will tell the true story here. Let's see where we go. For whatever reason. Oh, there it is. So first play of the game, you see he just gobbles up a double team block. Oh. Boom. And gets in there and just absolutely destroys somebody. Here you can see him again, just a monster, causing the quarterback to get rid of it quickly. Here he is beating the center again. Boom. Wrapping the quarterback up in the backfield with a sack. Here you can see him again. Once again, if you play him one-on-one, he's going to be tough to manage. Yeah, nice hit.
Scared big time. QB got scared.
This is a dude that's 320, 330 pounds. Look at that leverage and just destroying dudes in the backfield. Get this guy in a college weight program, and you're talking about a dude that has the potential to be an elite player. He's already got a ton of advantages with his size, his anchor. I mean, look, he just does not budge backwards. You're not moving him back, Jackson.
Oh, I'm not messing with him.
What would he do to you?
No, he'd chew me out like a chicken nugget.
Absolutely. So as you can see, he's got great explosion, as you saw there. Ball get off is really solid. This is the kind of player that you look at and get excited about. Like these dudes just don't walk through the doors every day. And I think this is exactly the kind of player that Zach Alley and company are looking for, Jackson.
Oh, man. Oh, there you go. He's turning that run back into dinosaur chicken. That's what he's doing. Oh, man, forcing a fumble. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, he's super athletic for his size, man. He really is. Look at these plays he's making, Like, he can run a little bit. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Nope.
Look at that play.
Man. There we go. Boom.
Boomski. And here you can see him right here. Just, he can even lose weight and be great as well. And, like, I could see a world where he drops to 290 and is a pass rushing defensive lineman. Like, both can be true for him. It just depends on what you really think he's going to be most successful at. I think what you've got him at here, I might keep him at 320. I don't know. It just really depends on what his muscle and body shape turns out to be like. But, that's why coaches get paid the big bucks, really. I mean, you've got to make a decision. Like, this is the kind of player, if you dropped him 30 pounds, his explosion would put him, potentially into the realm of being an elite pass rusher from the interior. But then his anchor may not be as good. And, if you put a couple pounds on him, he may be just gobbling up double teams at will and unblockable type cat. So really good player. I think he's absolutely going to be one of the kind of players that West Virginia loves from here on out, and we'll see exactly what happens there. Guys, we're going to go ahead and bounce out of here. Just wanted to talk about these couple topics. It's late. Jackson, thank you for coming on. Be back tomorrow with more.
Thank you for having me on, Paul, and thank you to Raven for shouting out Alabama at the Voice of College Football in the chat. We appreciate Raven very much.
Raven is truly the best. Raven deserves very good things in life. I've known her for a couple years now. She's a great person, truthfully, one of my best friends that I've never met. So she's a very thoughtful person. She thinks about all the guests that come on, and she does a very good job making sure people are recognized. Thank you guys so much for all you do. We'll be back tomorrow here on Locked on West Virginia. Until then, guys. Jackson, what is it you wanted them to do again?
I want everybody to roll damn Tide, but Mountaineer Paul wants
I don't want you to forget to cue those country roads. Good night.
Big go.
It's going to stink.